Hello Cancer, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the energies and predictions for the sign of Cancer for the end of August. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and get into this reading here for you as we look at the last week of August here. See what's coming to a close for you as we close out the month. The time frame on this reading will be for the last week of August, so that will be August 25th all the way up to September 7th. The reason I chose September 7th is that is the full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces. All right. Let's go ahead and get all of the cards out and get everything set up and in view here. All right, I think that's looking just about good enough to meet. Cool. Energy on the bottom. You have the Ace of Cups. All right, so we've got double aces here, actually, to start off the reading, which I love to see. This Ace of Cups, it may suggest that new love is beginning here. There's definitely a new love scenario showing up. So something in your love life based on this, the cards here, taking a quick glance at the cards, something could be changing or beginning here for you. There's something new that's going on in this connection or in this relationship that you have. If you're here for love. If you're not here for love, this can connect to a vision here. You know, you see the eye here on the card, the phases of the moon as well showing up. This can talk about some sort of like new vision or new dream or goal that you may have for yourself that is kind of like wanting to appear here for you in your situation. So you definitely have a new beginning in some aspects, regardless of what you're in this reading for, whether it's for love or whether it's for other like life stuff, career, business stuff. You definitely have some sort of new start here, especially as I look at the next card, which let's just get into this now. You do have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is also a new beginning. Any ace in the tarot can represent a new start, fresh start, new beginning, these sorts of things. It's sort of like ground zero, not including the full would be true ground zero, but you get the idea. The Ace of Swords, this one is like the clouds clearing, right? You can see the clouds in the background, making way, clearing the path for you. It's, something moving along. It can indicate that there's sort of a breakthrough type of energy. And particularly with the Ace of Swords, this may also indicate some level of success as well. Particularly if you've sort of been having issues with communication, or maybe even issues thinking through something, right? Sometimes we just, for whatever reason, we're foggy or whatever, like we just can't come up with a solution or whatever it is. Like the Ace of Swords may suggest that that's about to end, and there's something really nice here that could be starting for you here with the double aces to start off this reading. Now, there is an interesting message here for the people that are, definitely some people are on this reading, and so definitely some people are here and you're interested in a love message. So I'm going to, I always try my best to give multiple messages because some people come to me for career, business, some people come to me for love. But if you are here for the love timeline, it's sort of interesting in that there's not immediate breakup energy here, okay? But there is like maybe a contemplation of that some of you have maybe been thinking about. Okay, there's like, it's almost like, I don't know if the word is separation, but maybe some of you need a little bit of space to think or something. There's something new that's going on here in the love timeline that I'm going to try to pinpoint. But in the first column, you have the Three of Pentacles, you have the Lovers, and you have the Two of Pentacles. So along with that, like, the love timeline here, the Two of Pentacles, it can indicate change. It can indicate changes that may be happening in your financial situation, really. It can indicate this kind of desire or need to balance something out. But in a love reading, it can say that things are sort of in the air, right? Things are sort of like up and down, Okay, you can kind of think of it as you see the pentacles that are going up and down in between the person's hands, right? It's this idea of like trying to juggle or balance out a situation. That can really be what shows up with the Two of Pentacles, and you have this here with the Lovers, which speaks to significant situations in love. This could be a significant partnership. This can, more importantly, suggest that you have an important choice to make. And yeah, it can be a message of a formal relationship for sure. It can be a message of good love energy for sure. And you have that here with the Lovers and the Ace of Cups. So the issue is that with a tarot reading, especially a 9-card spread, you have to blend the meanings. Okay, so I see changes potentially, or I see something that's just sort of like up in the air right now, okay, as it connects to the relationship energy here. And then we do have maybe separation here, but it's sort of in the thought process. It's not that it's exactly happening. So with that timeline, what we're really going to need to do is take a look at the clarifications, okay? So the clarifications are going to give us much more of like an accurate understanding of what's going on there. And then what I'll also say about the love timeline, and then we'll get into the other one, is, you know, the Three of Pentacles, it may suggest that some of you are just quite busy in another area, you know, of life. Like you have a lot going on in your work, particularly in your work life. So with that, the people here for work and career and business, finance, these types of messages, I do think that some of you are kind of trying to balance the books here. Two of Pentacles, they can talk about like an increase or a decrease. Okay, you have to look at the supporting cards. To me, I like that the Ace of Swords is diagonal here. Two of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Knight of Swords, that's a nice combination, which I'm going to get to next. There could be a victory or a win that is sort of like trying to align for you. And then also there may be some progress that you're making in your career. You may also be having like a bit of a dispute with somebody that you work with. Okay, that could also be the case. Or what could be happening here is you may have an important choice to make connected to like what you're going to do with your career or what you're going to do in business here, as you have this Three of Pentacles and the Lovers. Like some of you may quite literally have some important choices to make in those matters or in those issues. So, you know, connecting to work, connecting to business, connecting to career. These sorts of things may be sort of like on your mind at this time, and there may be an important choice. Do I stay? Do I go? Do I accept this project? Do I accept this contract? These sorts of things may be happening, and you're probably balancing out and weighing like how that affects the income or the money kind of scenario in your situation. So in the middle here, you do have the Three of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and the Six of Cups. So that Three of Swords, you know, hopping between timelines here, you know, this is why I'm saying like I'm gonna sort of maybe really want to clarify, because that does indicate separation. The thing is, this upper row here is the row of your thoughts. So, you know, maybe some of you are thinking like, what would it be like if I was on my own? Or what would it be like if there was separation between me and this person? How would that feel like, or what would that look like? Some of you may be thinking about that. You may even be a little, I don't know, if I don't see any other sign of this, but it's just an intuitive hit here. Some of you may be a little suspicious. Like, is there another person involved? Okay, with the double threes can connect to other people. So some of you are like, okay, like what is going on here? You may just have an opportunity to get down to brass tacks and be practical with the person here, as you have the Ace of Swords indicating clarity of communication or thought. That could certainly be the case. You then here have the Six of Cups. This refers to the past or even past patterns. Some of you have been heartbroken or hurt in the past. Okay, and this is maybe now showing up as a sort of fractal, as a sort of image, a pattern that you are dealing with right now. Okay, there may be some like, past situation that's still influencing your current situation here, that you've maybe just for whatever reason had not had a time to process or work through, as you have this Six of Cups, right? What I would also say is there may have been a little bit of a dicey past couple of weeks, like 4 weeks, because we had the retrograde, the 3-week retrograde. It would have been through to 3 weeks, through to, I'm not going to give you the exact dates because I can't exactly remember, like mid-July through to August 11th. That period of time might have been a little dicey for you in terms of the relationship. And you're now sort of like at this review stage, or you're trying to create clarity of communication and thought here. For the work career people, there's this contemplation of, do I stay or do I go? Three of Pentacles, Three of Swords. I think that there's maybe one person that you don't enjoy working with. Like, I've been in that scenario before personally, and it's like, what do you do? What do you do? Maybe the job's not terrible. Maybe the job's all right. It provides for you. It's not the worst thing. But there's one person here that's testing your patience. That is for sure. In this reading, yeah, and the Six of Cups. It may mean that this has been going on for a while, or you've even been in this job for a while, and you're maybe wanting something new here. Double aces, as well as you look towards the future for yourself. In the final column, you have the Knight of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. I like the two diagonals that are happening here. So diagonals are directions that you're headed in this spread, okay? So we've got Three of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. Then we've got Two of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Knight of Swords. This is good, okay? Particularly for the career people, but for anybody who's here, like, this is pretty good. For the career people, the Nine of Pentacles, it indicates financial independence, okay? It indicates financial independence, the ability to provide for yourself, sustain yourself, and it says that you can maybe even enjoy a little bit of luxuries in life. This is one of my favorite cards, okay? This 9 refers to the self, okay? And it says that you've done something to put yourself in a really, really solid position, right? So you love to see a 9 in a tarot reading. You really do. And what I would also say is, with that, you have this other one, which is Two of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Knight of Swords. If you are looking to increase your revenue or your income in some way, this is solely coming through action. Okay, this is the way that this is happening. It's not an inheritance. It's not just your stock randomly that you own randomly goes. It's none of that. That's not what it is. This is about action. Okay, this is about what steps are you taking to make that happen, because the Ace of Swords, it is this sort of like, it is an action card, but more importantly, the Knight of Swords says, strike while the iron is hot, charge forward and go for something, That's the idea of the Knight of Swords, and you have this here with this Two of Pentacles in diagonal. So, yeah, now you're also dealing with a difficult person here, which could be the Page of Swords, and then also this idea of the Three of Swords. The Three of Pentacles, it is your colleagues in the tarot. So I do think some of you are weighing and balancing and looking at all of this. The relationship folks here, if you're here for love and relationship, the 9 to me is usually a sign that there's like a contemplation in this case of like, what would it be like for me to stay single for a little bit or to be single for a little bit? That's possible. But if that's not it, the good news here for you is like, you're not dependent on this person. Okay, you are not dependent on this person. So you're kind of in the driver's seat here on what you want to do in this situation, right? So let's go ahead and Cancer, let's start to clarify the situation even more, see what's coming forward in the Oracle cards, and then we'll clarify with some more tarot cards here. All right? All right. Okay. And we'll take one more. All right. Energy on the bottom, you do have the Mirror Guardian. Take time to reflect. Yep, I definitely think that's you. I think you're looking at the whole situation here, bird's eye view, eagle eye type of energy here. You have, okay, these two cards came out first, so let's read these. You have Heart Guardian, love and let yourself be loved. Okay, that makes sense. And then Oracle, wait for important information. This love and let yourself be loved, it's like where, how much are you showing up for yourself in this situation in addition to the other person, right? How does that look? Some of you are asking yourself, how does that look? And I think with this wait for important information, the truth will come out in time, like if there's some random suspicion here that I'm just intuitively feeling. You have Protection Guardian, drop your shields, as well as Winter, take care of your needs. There's a push here to take care of yourself a little bit with the 2 Oracle cards and then the 9 here as well. Lastly, you have Hold the Space and Fire Guardian, ignite your passions. Okay, the idea of holding space is a really powerful combination, a really powerful concept that is difficult. Like, for example, some people just when some people come to you and they maybe dump on you, right? They trauma dump on you, or they just want to talk to you. It's a real skill to be able to hold space for that person and just to allow them to speak. And so maybe some of you are looking at that in the relationship areas. The fire guardian, ignite your passions. I like what's going on in career because I think that there's a real opportunity for you to spring into action here, okay, and do something that you're passionate about. So let's see what else is happening. Let's take a look at the tarot clarifications for you here, Cancer. Now, as always, I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I do hope things are going well for you. All right. Let's go ahead and split the deck and see what we have here. Okay, you have Seven of Swords. There it is. There's the suspicion. Okay. Seven of Cups and the Lovers. Yeah, so if there's any card that may trigger suspicion, it would probably be the Seven of Swords. Okay, this person's like stealing swords, right? The idea is that, can you trust this person, right? And maybe there is something that you are suspicious about in relationship here. You now have the Lovers twice. You're a little confused about something that happened here with the Seven of Cups indicating confusion or being overwhelmed. And then the Lovers, it's almost like there's a change that's maybe happening here. Something's in the air with this relationship. For Three of Swords and Seven of Swords, that's not a combination I like to see in relationships, because that is like especially if the Devil was there, that may be the Devil and the Three of Cups, that may be like an infidelity combination, or just this idea of like lying, cheating, stealing, this type of energy. Yeah, so there's absolutely, I think some of you are a bit like waiting to see what the rationalization is, or like what's going on here. This idea of wait for important information, holding the space to allow the truth to kind of play out as it needs to play out. In career, couple things here. Well, you definitely have an important choice to make with the Lovers twice, but a couple things here. Seven of Swords, Three of Pentacles is my combination of somebody at work stirring the pot. Okay, somebody that you don't want to really divulge too much information to, okay, because you can't really fully trust this person, yeah? And, I've just seen it come in time and time again. So there is somebody here that you don't fully trust, and someone you want to keep at like arm's length, so to speak, okay, as it relates to that. Let's go ahead and let's take a look here. Yeah, you do have okay, Two of Cups with the Three of Swords. You do have the King of Wands, and you have the Three of Swords, okay, with the Six of Cups. So, whatever the reason is, okay, whatever the reason is, I can't say 100% as a tarot reader there was cheating going on, there was infidelity, there was lying, there was whatever. Whatever the reason is, there's a separation here that's happening, okay? This is like confirming. I will say the King of Wands is the player, so to speak, of the tarot when it comes to love and romance readings. Like, this is somebody who's adventurous, they like to get around, these sorts of things. So that's there. You do have the Seven of Swords. You do have a number of confirmations that I would look for. But however, for whatever reason it's happening, there is separation here, okay? That's happening here in this reading. Three of Swords, Two of Cups on its own is separation, but then we have the Three of Swords again with it, and then the Six of Cups. Maybe this is a long-term situation, okay? This is somebody you've been in a relationship for a while. Maybe something's happened over and over and over again, and this is the final straw for you. And you're realizing that, yep, you know what? I don't really have to be here. I don't really have to put up with this anymore. Because again, Nine of Pentacles, you have this level of independence within yourself here that's available to you. Off the love timeline and into the career timeline, finance, business, this timeline, King of Wands, really good card. It's the entrepreneur, okay? And this is somebody who's really, really skilled and talented and exciting to work with, okay? This is somebody who's really exciting to work with. Seven of Swords, this is also like in a much like a more lighthearted interpretation of that card is this idea of like taking a risk or even taking a calculated risk or creating a unique solution to a problem. These sorts of things could come up with the Seven of Swords as well. So for you, there is an out, just FYI. Like if you, I don't know, you want to go on your own, you want to be self-employed, this is available to you. There also may be an opportunity for you to be headhunted. In other words, another business may be interested in hiring you as well, or another company or employer as well, because they see what you bring to the table, which is very good. And I think that there's like a real contemplation of what's next. You then here have the Two of Swords, the Five of Cups, and you have the Nine of Swords. Okay, there's a lot here. Now, I just wanted to kind of like, it triggered my mind as I was reading that middle column. It does feel like, you know, by the way, just like the rest of August is really clear. Like there's not much going on. We're gearing up for this eclipse, the second eclipse series. But it just feels like right now, there's this sort of like pocket of time where we can get a lot of important things done. Okay, so I just want to throw that out there to you. Like we can get a lot of important things done right now. And yeah, I think that there are some significant timelines that are sort of developing for you. A 9, clarifying a 9, I think that this is probably a solo. You know, I think this is probably like a single type of energy, you putting yourself first, letting yourself be loved, holding space for yourself. And, you know, the Nine of Swords, there's no doubt, like in the relationship area here, there's some sadness, there's some anxiety, there's some what if, you know, there are some what ifs here that are going on, like, or like some questioning, like why did they do that, or why did this happen? These sorts of things are probably on the table right now in terms of what's going on for you. Five of Cups, Nine of Swords, Two of Swords. This may indicate a difficult choice that you have to make in life. Or just a difficult choice. Important choice here with the Lovers, difficult choice with the Two of Swords. This could also be like being in the middle of a dispute or trying to create conflict resolution when there's no ability to do that. So, yeah. Now, I want to say that there's something really solid here, and again, for the career people, it's a really an opportunity to take action during this time. You do have the Four of Wands. This is stability. This can be ceremonies and marriage as well. It's a marriage card, but this idea of harmony, I think, is coming from within at this time, and maybe, yeah, it's coming. This idea of harmony is like, what can you kind of do to help yourself right now? You know, and which is, you know, is that selfish? Maybe, but it's okay sometimes to be a little bit selfish. We can't always be serving others. You know, we can't always do that, right? So let's go ahead and let's take a look at the Kipper energies here. You have toil and labor. You have imprisonment. You're just trapped in a mountain of work or just trapped in a work scenario. You have distant horizons. There's the end, coffin, courtship, and sudden wealth. All right, so what's going on here is if there is a separation and breakup happening, a divorce, they're going to try to win you back for sure. You're not going to probably accept that here, but there's definitely an ending, and I don't necessarily think this person is going to just like drop it really quickly, you know. Like I think that there's like somebody's trying to win another person back here for sure with coffin and courtship. I'll say like sudden wealth is like a significant message that could indicate luck here. I think that this is the idea that for you, particularly for the people here in career, you feel just like completely, there's a sense of entrapment in the employment area here with toil and labor and imprisonment. And there's a real opportunity with distant horizons, meaning that the future is bright for you, and an opportunity to suddenly turn your situation around, provided that you take actions. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.